Thank you, Lord Mayor. My motion relates to Site 31 of the Ballymun LAP and it being leased to Ballymun Kickhams. I know the executive are well aware of this site. We've had numerous discussions and councillors many years ago thought getting it into the LAP was the hard part. Unfortunately, we've come up against a few roadblocks and there seems to be, I suppose, three main issues. One is the rent required for the site, the second is the duration of the lease, and the third one being Park Kickham in Collinstown, which Kickhams currently own. So just for anyone who's unaware, at the moment, Ballymun Kickhams are based out in Park Kickham in Collinstown. There is no public transport and the only way to get there is by car. So hundreds of kids every day relying on parents. And unfortunately, we know Ballymun has some of its issues. In fact, in 2022, a report was published called Ballymun A Brighter Future, which has since received over €2 million in funding to try and highlight and combat some of these issues. So having a club like Kickhams in the heart of Ballymun on Site 31, seeing players every day like our Dublin captain James McCarthy, Paddy and John Small, Evan Cumberland, etc. would be very, very beneficial. We saw tonight a unique sports deal done in the Chamber where Tolka Park was given to a group of owners to try and develop and manage on behalf of the city. And what I feel is needed in this case is a bit of leeway here and a bit of a special deal in relation to getting GAA football back in the heart of Ballymun on a site that's deserved. That would be very beneficial for the whole area. So I hope my colleagues will support me on that. I know the executive have gone to and fro with the club, but I think it needs to be a unique deal and I'd be very hopeful that something can be achieved. Thank you.
Councillor Mary Callaghan.
Thank you very much. I very much support this motion and thank Councillor Connolly for bringing it along. You know, the people who are in Ballymun Kickhams are heroes in the Ballymun community. There's absolutely no doubt about that. People look up to them, the children look up to them, teenagers really respect them and they're really, really important to the community. The sad thing about Ballymun Kickhams is it's no longer in Ballymun and hasn't been for an awful long time. So, you know, the fact that people have to travel, the fact that it is difficult, some people don't have any transport. So bringing it back into Ballymun will really make a huge difference for the community. I just want to say one point about that site, and I'm going to put my green hat on. There is a lot of biodiversity on that site, and I think if we can redevelop it for Ballymun Kickhams and respect some of the biodiversity that's in there, and it's not just flowers, it's you know, the wildlife. There's lots of very interesting things there, so I think we can also incorporate that, but very much support this motion. Thank you.
Councillor Anthony Conaghan.
Thanks, Chair. I think Ballymun approached myself, a few of the councillors back before the local elections 2014 looking for this site. At the time, myself and some of the other councillors were kind of basically saying, well, we wouldn't know until everyone gets elected after the election anyway, but we had just sold the site fairly close by for 1.7 million to Lidl, which is on the same road. This site is about 10 acres just further north. So although as a staunch GAA man I support the GAA at every opportunity, I wonder about this. Is the motion just pure electioneering just before elections, or is it actually looking after the sporting needs of the community? At present, every club in the northwest area and across the city is looking for land, and I just question whether it's sensible for Dublin City Council to be given one club all that land when every other club in the area is looking for training facilities, extra playing facilities. So I would support a municipal facility going in there, but whether it's the best option is to give one club sole use of that, I'm not too sure. So I'd be eager to hear the manager's reply. Thanks, Chair.
Manager.
Okay, so many moons ago when we were doing the LAP for here, it was one of my first negotiations, and there were certain conditions, and in fact I met after the council meeting when the LAP was adopted. I met a number of officials from Ballymun Kickhams in the corridor there, and there were certain, you might say, that it was all motherhood and apple pie, and you know, it's over the years, it's backwards and forwards. We're making progress, we're making no progress, and then it becomes totally unrealistic in terms of, you know, you might say that the land swap. And then, I mean, we talked earlier about the Tolka Park thing. When you look at Tolka Park, that small site effectively, you know, it was being sold to a football club for $1.5 million. That's the cost to them. I don't know how much you might say one is expecting. You talk about nominal fee. Nominal fee to me is like €10. And I don't subscribe to that at all. I think Councillor Conaghan has raised a very valid point in terms of maybe the City Council needs to develop a municipal facility there, and a whole range of sports get the opportunity to avail of them. Similar to what we're doing in Marrowbone Lane, that is not going to be sports specific, but you know, it might be a more appropriate route to go in terms of this site, because in all honesty, I couldn't bring what Councillor Connolly wants to an area, to a City Council meeting for disposal on those terms. I think it would set all the wrong expectations for everywhere around the city, that we will just, you know, we'll give land away because it's a good community cause, and we are effectively privatising public land. So, you know what I mean? So unless it makes sense, the idea was the City Council were going to be getting the lands out of Park Kickham to develop into a facility, or to have that facility available to everybody. So, you know, I think it's something that we possibly need to come back to in the next council, and that the executive set out possible alternatives to the development of this site, as opposed to a transfer to Ballymun Kickhams.
Councillor Connolly, you have 1 minute.
Thanks, Lord Mayor. A bit surprised by the negative attitude there, the executive. Just to bear in mind, they've been given a field and they've been asked to develop it, which will cost multiple of millions. They're not getting a site here that's going to be developed, so that's why the nominal fee was mentioned. And the transfer of Peckham would obviously happen in time once everything was developed. There's nowhere else in the city that has €2 million in a pot ready to be spent. That's given by the Taoiseach at the time because of the problems in Ballymun. We had a unique report funded by Dublin City Council because of the issues in the area. And we all know sport plays a massive role in combating some of those areas. Keeping kids off the streets, seeing people you see on TV, that can be me. All those very positive things that we could actually have here, instead of wasting money on other meaningless issues. And we have a unique opportunity here. So look, I look forward to it being examined by the next council, next executive, but I would ask the executive to look at it again, because I don't think we're too far away from a deal if the right people can be in the room. Thanks.